Hey guys, LunarSpawn27 here, and welcome to another edition of Jojo Part 4 Anime Manga Comparison. Today I'll be covering episode 4 of Diamond Is Unbreakable, so once again, spoiler alert if you haven't read the manga up to where the latest episode ended, or watched the episode itself. Episode 4 covers the second half of chapter 276 to chapter 280 from volume 30. Honestly, there isn't much to say about the differences between the episode and the manga, aside from the usual minor additions to the dialogue and scenes, the censorship, and the adaptation to the fight scenes. But let's go through the most important ones. At the beginning of the episode, when Josuke confronts Keicho, there was a scene where Okuyasu wakes up after getting hit by the flower pots. The manga only showed Okuyasu returning inside the house to fight Josuke again, before Keicho could attack him. With Okuyasu's wounds, there was a lot more blood on him when he was on the floor than he was in the manga. Speaking of which, let's go on to the censorship in the episode. There was still that shading on Koichi's neck wound caused by the arrow, and when the Green Beret stabbed him multiple times. One could argue that the manga is bloodier than the anime or vice versa, but personally, that's something that hasn't bothered me, at least not yet. I mean, the wounds are still shown to be quite bloody from Okuyasu and the wounds caused by Bad Company, especially the wounds on Josuke's leg and arm. Now, I mentioned this before on my reaction and review to the episode, but I really like Bad Company. Not only it's a cool stand, but it's an army of tiny soldiers with helicopters and tanks. It's also the first new type of stand introduced in the series called the Swarm/Colony type. These type of stands consist of multiple entities where taking down one or two of them won't harm the stand user or the actual stand. I guess one would have to take down a large amount from the stand to harm the stand user, but that depends on how many one has to destroy, which we don't really know for Bad Company. As for the design of the stand, the design is a bit different from the manga. In the episode, the faces looked simpler with the yellow streaks under the eyes. In the manga, however, the face designs look more unique with more yellow streaks on the left and a big green streak on the right. Also, in the manga, only one silhouette of a soldier was shown before Bad Company's reveal. In the episode, not one, but two silhouettes were shown, hinting what kind of new type of stand Keicho has. And of course, since the stand is named after rock band, Crunchyroll had to rename it to Worst Company, which is something I'm not a huge fan of. It's just that it's kind of funny, yet a bit dumb. I mean, the term Bad Company can be used in a few sentences, but, well, it could have been worse, but why not call it Bad CO? I mean, it's on Keicho's collar, so I'm just saying, why not call it Bad CO or something like that? Anyway, let's move on to the moments between Josuke and Okuyasu. When Okuyasu asked Josuke why he saved him getting hurt on the process, also healing him, Josuke replied that he didn't have a reason, just that there was no reason for him to die. In the manga translation, he said he didn't want anyone to die. Then when Okuyasu returned the favor to bring Koichi to Josuke using the hand to save him, there was some additional dialogue to his speech where he says, "Because I'm stupid, I just act on what's in my heart." In the manga, he said that he doesn't care if Josuke thinks that he's stupid. In fact, in the episode, Okuyasu before admits that he's stupid or not very smart. Now, those moments were portrayed very nicely in the anime with the voice acting and the dialogue establishing their soon-to-be friendship. It was like with Jotaro and Kakyoin back in Stardust Crusaders, when Jotaro removed the flesh bud and Kakyoin asked him why he risked his life to save him. Jotaro replied that he wasn't sure himself. Then Kakyoin used the same retort when he volunteered to join on their journey to Egypt. Oh, and here's another little parallel between Josuke and Jotaro. When Josuke charges at Keicho, he said, "If I don't come in, I can't kick your ass and treat Koichi's wounds." It goes differently in the manga with Josuke saying, "If I didn't, how can I heal him?" When Jotaro walked towards Dio, he says, "I can't beat the shit out of you without getting closer." Well, like uncle, like nephew, except uncle seems nicer. Anyway, now there's actually something I have to bring up, which I probably haven't mentioned in a long time. Ever since the final fight between Jotaro and Dio, stand auras have now become a thing in Diamond Is Unbreakable, which is actually cool considering stands are a manifestation of one's strong will and fighting spirit, and even Koichi has one when he became a stand user, but for some reason, Bad Company and Koichi's underdeveloped stand has the aura too. It's kind of strange to me, but I think this is also a thing for stands as well, I'm not sure. But the whole stand aura was more known and more relevant in part 4. At least that's what I'm understanding right now. Now, there's also Koichi's stand, which he was able to awaken as an egg. Obviously, his stand isn't ready yet, so once it's hatched, it can fully develop. I'm already aware what Koichi's stand looks like because of the video games, so in time, his stand will evolve, reaching its full potential. That should explain why his stand has different levels, and in fact, this might be another new type of stand. Well, all the more reason why I rooted for Koichi in this episode when he tried to confront Keicho, and why I'm still rooting for him. It's just gonna take some time for his stand to be revealed. Now, let's move on to the fight between Josuke and Keicho. This was yet another really cool fight that was very well adapted in the anime, with the animation, music, voice acting, and color choices. Also, Keicho's pose. I mean, how is he standing on his tippy toes like that? Well, then again, it's Jojo, so you just gotta keep your eyes open for poses. Anyway, there was a scene where Keicho asked Josuke about him getting angry whenever someone insults his hair. Cut back to Josuke daring him to test it out himself, and there's this red-like aura with angry eyes representing his built-up anger. In the manga, however, Keicho does insult his hair, and there's this really nice panel of Josuke's angry eyes and him saying that he'll teach Keicho a lesson. Though both scenes are different, they still establish Josuke's anger. But if I had to choose, I like the manga part because of how cool the panel was drawn for Josuke's eyes. Although the thing with Josuke getting angry whenever someone insults his hair, I know that this is going to be a thing, but is this going to be overplayed in part 4? Because I really don't want that. I mean, it is funny, it's just that you don't want it to be like overplayed in this series, you know? So that's just something that I'm really wondering about. Anyway, there are also some additions to the fight. For example, Okuyasu noticing the commotion going on from outside the house, which by the way, I'm surprised the house wasn't destroyed after their fight. Also, are the neighbors like deaf or out somewhere else? Because how come no one is hearing all those explosions coming from the house? You'd think someone would notice all that noise, not just Okuyasu. You know, someone hearing the noise, wondering what the hell is going on, probably calling the police or something? I don't know, fuck it. Let's just move on. Another example was Josuke's line about Moses parting the Red Sea. Yeah, a biblical reference in Jojo. Last time there was something close to that, which I recall, was the crucifix-shaped rock that crushed Caesar. Anyway, the best part of the fight was how it ended with Bad Company firing from all directions at Josuke. Josuke says this one line before the reveal of his plan to attack Keicho, which was different in both the episode and the manga. In the episode, Josuke says, "My plan is already finished." While in the manga, he says, "Your strategy has already failed." Honestly, I like both versions. The anime version shows that Josuke came up with yet another plan, and it was finished before Keicho's strategy. The manga version shows that even though Keicho's strategy was nearly a success, it still failed. The aftermath with those missiles hitting Keicho were shown differently as well. In the manga, Keicho was shown getting hit by his own missiles, while in the episode, the blast was shown outside the house, and you cut to Keicho on the floor bleeding unconscious. And of course, you need a cool one-liner to end the fight. God, I freaking love Josuke. He's so cool! Excuse me. So that was it from episode 4, and I know I sound like a broken record here, but it was a very nice episode that had adapted 4.5 chapters from the manga. I had no major complaints about it aside from the name change due to copyright, and the fight between Josuke and Keicho was really cool. Now, what's surprising is that the Nijimura brothers arc is gonna be a 3-parter, which means that there are 3 chapters left in this arc. There might be enough content there for another episode, but I'm not sure what else is there considering that I haven't read those chapters. Maybe Josuke and Koichi retrieve the arrow, give it to Jotaro who destroys it, Okuyasu becomes friends with Josuke, Keicho gets arrested, and that's it, I guess? Then again, there's still Keicho's motives that haven't been revealed yet, so it might be known in the next episode. He was looking for a certain stand power, but we're not sure what kind of power or why for that matter. Also, was he responsible for the 81 people going missing in Morio? Well, those questions might be revealed in the next episode, or maybe not, who knows. But is Keicho able to talk after getting hit by his own missiles? Unless he withdrew the missiles like how Whole Horse dismissed his bullet from nearly getting shot by his own stand. Plus, it's Jojo where almost everyone can survive any injury no matter how fatal it's supposed to be. unless Rocky says otherwise. Anyway, that's it from this anime manga comparison to episode 4 of Diamond Is Unbreakable. If there is anything I missed or anything you want to discuss, feel free to do so in the comment section below. And if you like what you've seen so far, be sure to like and subscribe not only to this channel but also onto my backup channel as well. As always, I'm Nurse27 and I'll see you all back again on JoJo Friday. Later. You know, the reveal of Koichi Stan is going to, bring up a lot of, clamp jokes. Koichi, did you lay this egg? But, you know, in all seriousness here, I gotta be honest. I have never read Clamp in Wonderland. I've only read the synopsis, and I was like, fuck it, no, I'm not reading it. But, if there is anyone out there that really wants me to read this doujinshi, then maybe I'll do a review or maybe a live reaction to it. That is, if you guys really, really want me to read it. Even if I don't really want to. But if you guys want me to do it, sure, why not? But just let me know in the comments below. Yeah, now I'm done. Bye guys. See y'all again on JoJo Friday.